A hospital in the north of the Gaza Strip and the biggest refugee camp in the Palestinian territories, both becoming the latest flashpoints in the incessant Israel-Hamas war. Gaza's health ministry says at least 12 people were killed and scores injured in an Israeli strike on the Indonesian hospital, as one of the few remaining functional medical facilities. Those killed include doctors and patients. Reports say Israeli tanks have surrounded the hospital and there has been heavy fighting in the area. The facility, which was built 12 years ago by donations from Indonesia, has also lost power, not for the first time. Indonesia's foreign minister condemned the alleged Israeli attack on the hospital in, quote, the strongest terms possible. Israel earlier warned residents of the Jabalia refugee camp and a nearby coastal camp to evacuate as the army expands its military operation. A Hamas health official said more than 80 people were killed in twin strikes on Jabalia over the weekend. A UN school sheltering the displaced was also hit. Israel sees Jabalia as a Hamas stronghold. Still amid the fighting, there are signs of progress in hostage negotiations. Qatar says efforts to bring back hostages are within reach, adding that only minor practical details remain unresolved. The Israeli ambassador to the United States says a significant number of hostages could be free in the coming days in exchange for a pause in fighting. More than 200 people in Israel were taken captive by Hamas last month. And for more, Sarah Coates joins us live from Tel Aviv. Sarah, what do you know about the situation that is panning out at the Indonesian hospital in Gaza's north?
Hi there, Wei-Su. Well, look, according to reports coming in from the ground, heavy fighting is continuing outside the Indonesian hospital in the northern part of the Gaza Strip, while people inside this hospital are reporting that they can see tanks moving around through their windows. Now, there are also reports of early morning airstrikes on this hospital that have reportedly killed at least 12 people, injured many more, although Israel hasn't come out to speak on this at all. All it said is that it is expanding military operations inside the Gaza Strip. Now, as you mentioned, Indonesia's foreign minister has come out to condemn these strikes, condemn the violence at the Indonesian hospital, saying that it is a clear violation of international law. Now, we do understand that the power at this hospital has gone out, and it's important to point out that this is a place where thousands of people are trying to find safe shelter, also a place where there are hundreds of patients and around 100 or so medical practitioners. So look, it's certainly appearing at this point as though it could potentially go the same way as the Al-Shifa hospital, where there's just been absolute chaos. It's really been a focal point of this ground operation over the past few days. But look, information coming out from the ground right now is fairly limited, but we will, of course, bring you more on this developing situation as the news comes to hand. Wei-Su.
Sarah, but as you mentioned, we do know Israel is expanding its military operation. What effect might that have on hostage negotiations, which, according to Qatar, those are making progress?
Well, look, Israel is really hoping that its expanded military campaign, its actions inside the Gaza Strip, will help to push Hamas to get rid of hand over, I should say, some of these hostages back into Israel, although the relatives, the loved ones of these 240 or so people that are being held inside the Gaza Strip are extremely concerned that these expanded military actions inside the Strip could actually harm their loved ones rather than harming Hamas militants. Now, we are hearing a glimmer of hope coming from the Qataris. The Prime Minister says there are only minor details that basically need to be ironed out before this release, while we also heard from the Israeli ambassador to the United States saying that he's hopeful that there may be some sort of a deal in the next few days. Now, we do understand that this could look like this. It could see 50 of these women and children being held inside the Gaza Strip, brought back to Israel in exchange for around 150 female and teen prisoners who are being held inside Israeli jails. It could also see a 3 to 5 day ceasefire and also humanitarian aid ramped up. This is including petrol into the Gaza Strip. So look, everyone here is really waiting, really worried as to what will happen next, simply because these people have been held inside the Gaza Strip now for around 45 days with basically no word on their welfare or their whereabouts. And according to Israeli media, Hamas has come out to say that it needs more time, saying that it doesn't know where all these hostages are because it says that a number of different factions have taken them. So certainly a lot of worry on the ground here, as you can imagine, Wesu.
Oh, thanks. That's Sarah Coates reporting live to us there from Tel Aviv.